Hello, everyone. Hello, all you brilliant creatives and brilliant writers and healers and all of these things. We're so glad you're here. I'm Jacob Nordby with the Heal Plus Create platform. And it's been such a pleasure over the last several transition months to open up our usual community events that are normally for members and open it up to the rest of the world and have people come and experience what it is we do here. And I'm going to spend about 90 seconds to just tell you that all of the practices, all of the sessions we bring to you are meant to, as you're walking around that great question of healing and of really connecting to your inner creative self, your soul self, and then expressing it with the world, we need more than just one way to approach that. I like to call it walking around the thing. Sometimes it feels like a tangled ball of yarn or something that might not, it's hard to find where all the strands go and where they originated from and how to get them sorted so that life feels better, so that life feels as if it works better, And so what we know, and I love bringing in a little bit of nervous system and brain science, because what we know now is that there are many, many different ways to reconnect with who you really are inside. And many of those are buried under layers of resistance and aversion and sort of running away from these feelings because we enter into our feeling selves, which is so important as we are seeking to really recover that connection to our inner creative selves. And as I see it, your inner creative self is never turned down or off. It's never lost. It's never dimmed. It can't be tarnished. But the connection to it can be harmed, and it can require some time of recovery to even feel safe reconnecting with the feelings, with the intensity of feelings, with our own imagination in a positive way. And so as I introduce Carin today, I just want you to understand this is an experience. This is one of the ways, the practices that we use to get in touch, learn how to listen to ourselves better, learn how to express those feelings, those very subtle messages that are coming from our inner selves better. So that's one of the reasons we do this. And we do it each month as a practice because I find that some of the things we need the most don't come naturally because we were often conditioned not to do them. We were conditioned that sitting still was difficult or boring. We were conditioned that boring was a bad thing. We're finding out so much more information now that leads us into going, okay, it might feel a little awkward to enter that space frequently or regularly, but finding micro practices that help us do it more easily and help it not feel like such a daunting task. That's what we do here. So let me tell you about Carin Channing. How I'm curious in chat, how many of you have done doodling with us before, the therapeutic doodling? Just pop into chat if you have done therapeutic doodling before. I see Carin coming in here, so I'll hurry and introduce her. Those of you who haven't met Carin yet, Carin Channing is a practicing therapist, a licensed clinical social worker with over 17 years of experience. And she brings with her this focus on somatic experience, so really getting in touch with the body. Her practice melds mindfulness, neuroscience, and creativity. And Carin's also the author of 2 books. She leads people in the experience of reclaiming their creative spirits. On the registration page where you RSVP'd, we had links to Carin's books. I'll make sure and drop those into chat today. All right, Carin, I've talked enough. How are you?
Oh, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, Jacob. Hi, everybody. I've been
We're also glad to see
noticing
you.
some familiar faces, some new faces. I saw the people who have been here before. Can we get just like a show of even just like wave your physical hand if you have not been here before? Who's brand new? I'm gonna say so lots of brand new too. Awesome. Yay. Yay. Awesome. I see my friend Stephanie there. She is maybe brand new to this gang, but she is certainly not brand new to the world of, in fact, we were meeting together a few days ago and talking about the efficacy of the doodle. Steph, I texted her later and thanked her for that inspiration. My friend Deb is here for the first time. I think this is the first time Deb's been in one of my doodle groups, so it's just great to see everybody. I pretty much say this just about every time I come to Heal Plus Create. I just so appreciate like whatever state I'm in before this call is what I can come to the call as. I see Jacob's got his candle. He loves to create ritual around things. And I appreciate that you remind us of that, Jacob, because I find myself I lit some sage before, or I'm starting to notice a little more, thanks to your sharing, that you like to create those containers. I've been noticing. I brought the bell today for us. So if there's anything that you all need or want to do to just kind of create your comfy space there, I've got a blanket on my lap, and I have water near me. So just you all get to show up exactly as you are too. And those who've been hanging around this scene know that it's like the perfect place for that. And that's what I would want all of my spaces that I might be co-hosting to be as well. Show up as you are. So I tried to edit my activities down that I wanted to do today, and I was just like, whatever. We'll see what happens. I'm always kind of running the clock out, because there's just so much juicy stuff that we can play in. So Jacob introduced me. Yes, I work in the mental health field, and I'm just so interested in the development and exploration of this thing, and have been into that way longer than I've done this professionally even. So what we're about to do together today is what has risen to the top. There are a couple of things that have risen to the top for me, and this is one of them, as count onable, more profound than you think it's going to be, fun at the same time. Lots of good qualities. So as I'm kind of chatting and introducing myself, let's have us all start to come together, get ready for our first doodle exercise by just play with our fingers and our hands a little bit, our arms. We can breathe a little or a lot. For some of us, this may be the first time today that we've even noticed like what our bodies are feeling like, or it may just be the first time in this minute that we're noticing. And yeah, let's just have everybody, we usually do the resting after the emoji, and I'll explain the emoji for those who haven't been here yet, but heck, we're just going to do our resting right now. So if you would like to let your eyes relax or close, this is the time for that. Just do this for a few minutes so that we can all be in just a nice space of off-duty-ness as we go into our creative play today. So I'm going to ring this bell. Trying to find that sweet spot between not too loud, but just loud enough. Whoop. Dropping the mallet. That wake everybody up? There we go. Just letting the bell and just a few moments of relaxing the eyes and the head and the back of the head and the shoulders and all of that. Just letting all this be an invitation to come into this cozy space. Just doing a bit of a scan. Where do you feel anything at all? Just noticing whatever your awareness goes to. Taking some breaths, kind of in and out of whatever spaces you're feeling, letting your body come open. And let our attention be focused. Let's go to two areas. The first one, let's go to our feet. So I just uncrossed my legs and planted my feet on the ground for the moment. No obligation, but if that feels good, you might. When you breathe, let's just let ourselves breathe all the way down to our toesies. We can exhale it all the way out. I see some yawns. Very good. Very good. That means we're coming together. Starting to let whatever the momentum was before we came on the call, just kind of letting that wash out for now. And our
Yeah.
energy will definitely go up.
Carin, I was just going to say in my men's group, the leader often points out that yawns are one of our body's way of releasing tension. And so that's helped me understand that differently.
We love the yawns. That's how I know I'm actually processing. Yeah. And our energies will go lots of different places as we play today. So I'm not trying to put everybody to sleep exactly. But coming to this other point in the body I was thinking of, let's just let our attention come up from our feet, through our legs, across our knees, gently, gently up through our bellies. And let's hang out in the heart area for just a moment. Say, hello, heart. This is your party here for the next hour and change. This is for you. We're going to use pictures today to listen to you. Just taking a moment and acknowledging ourselves. If you feel comfortable doing so, you can even put your hand around your heart area there, and just please take a moment and acknowledge yourself for whatever it took to be here today. Oh my gosh, what a loving thing. I like to acknowledge Jacob for many things, but one thing is being smart enough to design a vocational space. I guess I do the same here, right? Like a vocational space where you get to come and like heal plus create. Very smart. Very smart, Jacob. Well, I don't know if you all can hear, but I can hear the dog next door is very excited about something right now. So I'm just gonna like expand the space, include that in, and go ahead and bring us into our creative mode here. So we're gonna start playing. So if your eyes were closed and you're comfortable, let them come on open. We'll give the bell one more ring. I'm in Hot Springs, Arkansas, where it's kind of warmish today. Like it's maybe in the 50s or something. And I live right on a park. And lots of people come with their pets in the park. And the neighbor gets very excited and just wants to play and welcome everybody to the neighborhood. And that's what's going on there. So here's how our session's going to go today. I already changed up the order from my original notes. That's okay. We're going to do what we call an emoji. This is going to be our first expression with our fingers here. And I'll tell you more about that in just a moment, but it's going to be the beginning of collecting some scientific data we're going to measure. We're going to capture something, our states of being now, and we're going to capture them in a little while, just see what we notice. And then usually I do the resting right after that. We've done that already today. And then after resting, we'll go into just doing a little more loosening exercise. And then we'll be looking today at the world of meeting ourselves exactly where we are. We like to have a theme for our sessions here. And I thank you all for the opportunity to play with all these different themes. And I've been listening to some conversations about how we can sometimes tend to set ourselves up a little too far out from where we are in our imagination. We end up failing, we end up making ourselves wrong. We don't know, it's just like too big of a gap to jump over. So I want to look at sort of what our dreams are and also how they meld into where we are exactly right now. Some truth telling, some compassion for our being. So that's going to be our theme today. It's going to go way too fast. I'm going to try to keep a grip on the time here a little bit. And for those of you who haven't been here before, this works when you participate. So whatever you can do to have yourself on camera, whatever you can do to raise your hand to share. We won't have time to get to everybody anyway, so some of you will get lucky. You can like just hide out. That's okay too. No one's ever obligated to share. We will never call on you without you volunteering to do so. But it really, really works. And you'll see from your cohort here that the more variety of sharing, the more interesting, the more inspiring. So I just have one really important question for everybody before we make our emojis. And that is there anybody here, forgive me those who've been here before and have heard this before, but is there anybody here who cannot make a crooked line? I just need to see, please, if you cannot make a crooked line, please raise your hand. Jacob, am I missing anybody? I don't see anything.
I think you're dealing with an artistic group. Everyone looks like they can do it.
They can all make a crooked line. Okay, fabulous. You can all stay. That's all that's really required. Okay, you don't have to know how to represent anything visually at all. When I first got into this, I just had made up from a very young age that I couldn't draw. I saw other people around me with certain types of, could take something and, you know, make it come out their arm and look like something. And so I got liberated from that well into my adult life and learned that it doesn't matter. We're not looking for something fancy. We're looking for you exactly as you are. So exactly as you are, meeting ourselves exactly where we are. Grab your blank page. And we're going to start with the emoji. The emoji is the opening emoji. This is dropping in and just tell yourself the truth just for a moment. Feel your body, check out your mind. How am I feeling right now? So it doesn't have to look like the emojis that you can send from your cell phone. It can be anything. I usually start with a circle, like a head, but you can make anything at all. So go ahead, start with your emojis. I guess I didn't say make sure you brought something to doodle on and with, but if you didn't figure that out before now, you're probably going and getting something right now. All right. So interestingly enough, I often find that just the emoji carries so much power. Like if we, I think actually, like if we took, let's see, we've got 42 people here. If we took everybody here, looked at each person's emoji, shared every single one of them, rested for a few minutes, and then did the outmoji, I still think even with that, we would see transformation. Like it happens that quickly. So no pressure. Who is willing to share your emoji? And we'll do kind of, well, it's going to be hard for me not to take a really long time with the emojis, but we'll try to keep it down to a few. Oh, I see some emojis being shown. Does anyone want to? I see a hand going up. Jacob, are you willing to?
Yeah. Meredith's on.
Hello, Meredith.
Hello, Jacob. Hello, Carin. Thank you so very much for having this for us today. I'm going to hold my doodle up to the screen and try to see if you can all get a good look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So my emoji, because I'm at a place in my life where I'm unemployed, I kind of have this sensation of being, I guess, pierced or cut, or in this case, scissors have kind of cut into me and I'm kind of leaking, like parts of me are leaking out. So I have this sensation of incompleteness, which would be, I would love it if my little doodle, if the scissors are gone by the end of this. That would be nice.
I love it that you said that, because one of the things that we play with sometimes, and I'll do sometimes in my coaching or counseling sessions, is I'll have someone make a picture of how do you want to feel at the end of this session. We're going to actually do something similar to that a little bit later on, but I like it that you kind of got that in your mind. Thank you for that share. And also you reminded me of something that I failed to do, Meredith, at the beginning of today's session, which is two things. I wanted to say, when you share, keep your picture up so we can look at it while you're talking, which is exactly what Meredith did. So awesome. Thank you. And the other thing I forgot to share up front is our witness symbol, which I'm going to type in the chat right now. It's just always so much to chat about. We call this the witness mudra. This little symbol here, the M with the slash on each side of it, means I'm hearing you, I'm feeling you. I have control over my pie hole so that I'm not going to try to tell you what to do or tell you need to be different, but I'm with you. So as we play today, if you're like feeling your people and you want to give them some acknowledgement, we love the use of the little witness mudra there. It just means I trust you. I trust you with your feelings, and I trust myself to be in this open space with it. So thanks for talking about something vulnerable from the jump. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Does that communicate to everybody? Does anybody have any questions about that?
You ready for Jeanette to share?
I sure am, thank you.
Jeanette.
Here's my emoji right here. Can you see it up here?
Yeah, hold it up just a little bit, a little higher, perfect.
Okay.
A little lower. Perfect, perfect, don't move.
Okay, I can't see it on it doesn't show on the speaker scene, my speaker's screen, so it's hard. Okay, anyway, that I've had 9 back operations. I have chronic severe pain, and I have for 20 years. But also the way I feel quite serene and very contented today, despite the pain. I have a little ongoing say, the pain cannot dim my colors, is my saying to myself since our healing session. That's what gets me going. And this is what I came up with today because I feel good. That's all.
Thank you, Jeanette. So powerful. What else do we have in the emoji world?
Anybody else want to share? Use the little raise hand feature, and that'll tell me that you want to get in line here.
This is our scientific experimenting, taking a slice of where you are now, and then we'll take
I'll go ahead and hold mine up, Carin.
Yeah.
So I got some decent sleep last night, and I'm grateful for that. But I also woke up feeling groggy, and the clouds are on my head. That's actually what's inside my head, which is cotton. But you can see little hearts flying around because I also feel happy to be here and loving. So, all right, Suzanne has her hand up.
Well, this isn't not much here. I started out with just the line because I feel sort of medium. I don't know how else to describe it. And then I've made a face because I'm also sort of curious. I'm curious about what we're going to be doing in the class. I'm curious about what's going to happen to next weekend when I go to Los Angeles. So that's what that is.
I love that description of medium. I was so feeling that. That is awesome. I just saw, I think it was Lonnie was asking, how do you raise your hand? So is it under the reactions?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Awesome. Let's do a couple more. I wanted to ask Lonnie, were you wanting to raise your hand? let's do two more.
Okay, so let's grab Lonnie first. And there we go. Lonnie, you should see a little request to turn your mic on.
Yes, thank
There
you
you
very
are.
much.
Hi,
This is
Lonnie.
mine,
Awesome.
and
You-
this is, oh,
There we go.
there. Mine is that I'm feeling very serene today, even though there are all these crazy things going on in my life right now. So I have all of these thoughts that are randomly coming in and things that I'm trying very hard to stay serene about, to just keep my peace about. I have a lot of responsibilities and a complicated life, and I can only accomplish everything if I stay in my own meditation, in my own peaceful place. So that's what today is about for me.
Hmm.
It reminds me of that kind of the wrap up of our little mini meditation today of just acknowledging each of us, right? Like for really creating a nice chunk of time in your day container for your well-being. I'm hearing a lot of this theme today of, despite some of the humaning, we're here to be open to ourselves. We're going to keep creating. We're going to soothe ourselves. I love it. All right, uno mas.
Okay, so Stephanie. Oops, I think I lowered.
Okay,
There you are.
there we go. Hi. I don't know what you can see. Can you
Perfect.
see it?
Go
Yeah,
up
okay.
just a tiny little bit.
Up a little bit.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Okay. So I'm just going through a really transformational time right now. That's a real struggle. And there are a lot of layers to it that, I'm sometimes feeling more optimistic than other times, sometimes more hopeless than other times. So it's just kind of the whole picture, I guess. It's kind of a yin yang thing, but not. So that's it. Thank you.
I second the witness mudra emoji. Just in the couple minutes of sharing that we've done so far, I mean, I so resembled that last share. And I just, like, send a witness symbol or send something in the chat, whatever you all want to do, like to acknowledge one another for just these couple of shares that we've heard so far in these pictures and how we're showing up. I know somebody else is groggy and cotton in the brain. I know somebody else has got complex layered things going on. I know someone else has pain. Like, I just know. I know someone else is saying I'm prioritizing myself right now. So yeah, we're all mirroring each other by doing this. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, thank you. So great to know in such an immediacy that we're not alone, isn't it? I love it. Okay, so powerful. All right, I'm gonna switch back to my gallery view so I can look at all of you all. Very good. So what we've done is, oh, you know what? I don't know how to do it. How do I make the chat stop chirping? Does anybody know? This is like a new thing on this. Does anybody know? Oh, let's see. Let me look for that. Let me give you guys the next prompt and I will mute myself while you're doodling and I'll look for that. Just to say, what we've done with that opening emoji then is, in the little science-ish world, right? We've started to shift our brain waves from the logical brains that we all came in here with today over to a bit of a slower brainwave, a little more creative brainwave where now we're open to more information, we're open to hearing what's happening somatically in our bodies, this sort of thing. So we've done that now. We've between the resting and the opening emoji, we're now we can really walk onto that playing field. It's primed beautifully for us. So you all have just taken this slice of meeting yourself where you are. So now what I'd like you to do is think about just whatever the kind of major areas are that you've been reaching for maybe some change or some development or some upgrading. Doesn't have to be a problem. It could be, I'm ready to take this to the next level. Like, what are some things that might be in your mind? It could be areas like physical health, career, a project you're working on, your body, So go ahead and make a doodle. Just take a couple minutes here and sort of quickly represent a few areas that you've been reaching to make changes in, or at least thinking about it. May not be happening, but it's like in your brain. Go really, really gently with yourselves here, folks. None of this is meant to be, and now I should have been doing all that stuff. That we're going to make some room for those voices too here in a minute, but just let it be with a light touch, just what's right there. All right, I'm going to see if I can fix my notifications. All right, take just another, I don't know, 45 seconds or so. See if there's anything else that's just right there for you. You can always keep playing with these as we do our sharings. By the way, I haven't figured out my chat sound thing yet, but I'm going to keep looking. I did hit one button that might have helped. We'll find out. Somebody type something in the chat for a second and see if that bell goes off. Yep, I didn't fix it. Okay. We'll keep looking. All right, my dears. So who's up for sharing? Who's up for sharing? We'll do just some quick shares here. This is sort of our doorway into this conversation. Looking sort of on the court about meeting ourselves where we are. Who would like to share just a couple of areas you're looking at?
Janet.
Morning. My first emoji is just I wonder. I wonder what's next. And what came up that I want to do, I'm working on, is meditate in the yard, because my energy's a lot do. So that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Janet.
And Susan.
Is that relatively clear?
Yeah.
So this is strong boundaries from deep roots.
Carin, could you repeat the prompt? I was looking for notifications too when you were giving that.
Yeah, it was just to do, so we're going to be looking at starting with like some areas in our life that we're reaching to make a difference in, or that we're thinking about making a difference in. For example, I'll show you my page real quick as an example of it as well. I was looking for the notification thing, so I just grabbed this real quick, and I just saw financially, in my dwelling, there's a beach there that's kind of representing downtime and vacation-y things. I drew a picture of a tooth, like some way that my stress has been manifesting is on tooth aching. So just, a couple spaces that are just normally in your mind. And by the way, I'm so sorry, I can't remember who had the very last one, but the strong root, the strong foundation and the deep roots. When I saw your roots, I was like, oh, I just drew a root, see, on a tooth there. I love those synchronicities. Yes. So does that communicate, Jay?
Yeah, thank you.
Good.
Perfect.
Okay. Who else? Who else will show?
And
Hi. So
Hmm.
I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety and overthinking, and I've been working on some ruminating thoughts and working through things, and it's been affecting a lot of areas in my life lately. So I'm really honing in on working on things.
I can guarantee there are other people in this room who are feeling very similar to that. Thank you so much for that generous share. Awesome. What else do we have out there?
oops, I had my mic muted. Suzanne is up.
Unmute. Okay. I don't have a lot of deep stuff that I'm showing so far today, but I've been thinking a lot about recording a song that I wrote like 3 years ago and have just started to kind of get it together, but I'm still sort of like processing it. So what I have here is, this would be me playing guitar, and this would be, this little guy up here is playing violin. This guy's playing mandolin. There's a bass on the bottom, and these holes with little squiggly lines, that's harmony, singing in harmony. So that's what I've been thinking a lot about lately and trying to figure out when I'm going to do that.
I think that was perfect. Like, to me, that's like plenty deep, by the way. Yeah, thoughtful and detailed. I love it. I love it. These are really perfect. Let's see. Let's take one more in this part of it, and then those who are waiting, hopefully you can we can call on you for the next section of it. By the way, it didn't used to do this thing with making the sounds every time that, now what did I do?
You're good on my end. Shahira is wanting to share.
Thank you. I've lost you guys, but I know you're nearby. Here we go. Okay.
Hi. Yeah, I actually kind of had a question as well as the sharing. I tend to start writing a lot of text instead of going to an image. And I'm wanting to recapture a state of flow. I am overthinking and have been so well trained to stay in this verbal brain instead of the image or more abstract expression side of the brain. And I'm really trying to recapture that, and I keep getting pulled over into words. And if you have any advice on that, either now or later, I would really appreciate that. So the lines are the flow I'm trying to achieve, but I've also just written it out, and I want to get away from writing it out.
So thank you so much for sharing that. Oh man, you guys, things are like getting worse here. Now every time a chat thing goes off, I lose the picture of everything. Things are going haywire. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me see. Give me just a second. I need my screen back. Okay. I want to answer your question, and I'll deal with this technology a little bit later. Okay. Thank you so much for asking that question. You actually gave me a way to ask the next prompt that I think will be helpful, which is, first of all, it's okay for words to come through. And even just in the shape of where the words were, I saw, you know, you were doing it as best you could. You were creating kind of some design even with your words coming through, but we'll switch to our non-dominant hand for the next prompt.
Hey, Carin, I have a direct question to me in chat, and I feel like this is a really good, and you can address it whenever it feels like it goes into the flow today, but is it possible to discuss feeling intimidated by a drawing, and then how others draw makes it worse? Like, why do I think I can do this? Also wanting just some more guidelines to drawing, like how do we get into a place to allow other than the opening exercise?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll go to our non-dominant hand. Like, that's just the thing, right? And we can talk more about this as we play. You know, the word practice is what's really coming up for me right now, and it's part of what we get to do here in these shindigs, and what you can play with my books, which I'll show you guys in a little while as well. Or even when I first got turned on to doodling, there was, I was invited to do a 30-day doodle challenge, and there were no rules to it, right? So all I had to do was have a notebook, and I had some markers, and every day make some kind of a doodle, right? Because the question has to do with drawing, right? Like, drawing is supposed to look a certain way, and other people can draw and they're good at that. And, you know, it's different from, we like the word doodling around here as just a simple, spontaneous creative expression. It could be with a guitar, it could be with a collage, you could be acting or moving your body. So practicing something simple. So for example, here's something that you could take on. Make an emoji once a day for, I don't know, 28 days or something like this. Set yourself a little thing, get yourself a little stack of note cards or a little notebook, and make yourself a little emoji every single day, or a little stick figure that's showing how you're feeling. For our friend who's asking about getting out of your head, stick figure once a day, or beginning of the day and end of the day if you want to do a little scientific experiment and compare. But this will help you get into your body, and these things will just help to start lubricate the brain and the body to start to understand this is actually something safe here. I can do this. It's not necessarily about what's going on with the other people. But we also, in my style of doodling, we make space for those voices that say, I can't do this. Other people can do this. One of my books went to, I knew someone who was incarcerated, and we sent him a copy of one of my books, and it got to be very popular, getting passed around. All the fellows were drawing, and I'll just show you, since I'm talking about it, 365 Days of Doodling. The book was going around in the prison, and I talked to my friend on the phone one day, and he said, I'll give this book to people and invite them to draw something in it, and they'll say, I can't draw. And he goes, and then I show them your third grade looking doodles in here. And then they realize that they can draw. So that's just like one of the pictures in the book. I don't know if you can even tell what it is. It's me lying on the floor coloring when I was a kid, right? But like, it doesn't, and this is after years of doodling. That's like, I was able to somewhat make a shape of something. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So if you can see my messy pictures and that makes you feel a little better, that's great. When I go and talk to school kids, I tell them I draw hands every day, but they pretty much never have 5 fingers on them. Like, you can represent, by being messy. So I'm throwing a lot of information at you all at once there. So I'm hoping that the ones that need to take little bits out of it will just capture what makes the most sense for you. Let the rest just pass over your brain. But the other thing I want to reiterate, and we'll do this now, is one way to get into that state, to get into a less logical state, a less judgmental state, is go ahead and switch to your non-dominant hand, because you're going to bypass that logical side of your brain, but also you're going to know that you're not going to make a good picture, most likely a good picture, with your non-dominant hand. So you'll just be naturally freer. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. It's perfect. We're talking about these judgment thoughts too. Everybody's got their layout of a couple areas that are important to you. Meditation. What else did we see? Making music, creating that song, boundaries, roots, structure, right? I've got my tooth, kind of thing. What I want you to do with your non-dominant hand is I want you to put into a doodle, and it's okay if words come into this too. What are some of the thoughts or voices that come up for you when you look at these areas that are important to you that say, here's these reasons I can't do this? Or maybe it's, I'm so excited, I can't wait to get started on this. But I want you to look at the pictures that you made about the areas that are important to you and put with your non-dominant hand into some simple images what either seems to be the barriers or what's just the natural expression that comes with it. But tell yourself the truth. Try not to override your non-dominant with your logic. Just, you might notice that coming up. See if you can just, whatever comes out first, just let it come out. Yep. Non-dominant hand, meaning the hand that you do not usually use to write. Oh boy. If you're not sure what the thoughts are that you have about this stuff, look at your pictures and then drop your attention into your body. The body will tell you the truth.
Carin, Meredith is a bit unclear about the prompt. Would you give us a little more detail on that?
Sorry about that. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're kind of looking for what's our reaction when we talk about areas that are important to us. What's our, like, what's the truth of our reaction to that? Like I might say like, oh, vacations are really important to me, or like having a new home is really important to me. But when I look at it, I go, you can't do that. You would have done that if you could by now. Like if you could do, you would have done that by now. Or like, I'm afraid of that, or I don't have the skill set, or oh my gosh, I'm so ready. I'm out the door at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Like just whatever we're looking for, like what are our reactions to kind of looking at like, oh, these are the big things that are important to me. So just, does that make a little more sense? Yeah. The body will tell you if you're not sure, if your head doesn't know. Check your throat, your belly, your shoulders. And just using our non-dominant hands because sometimes they just let us tell even more of the truth, as it were. Awesome. I'm in denial that I need to keep my eye on the clock, but I'm going to check the time here too. Okay, take a moment more, see if there's any other reactions coming through, and we'll start the sharing in just a minute. All right.
If you're done with your drawing, if you would just go ahead and put something in chat to let Carin know that we're not going to worry about the notifications. so that she doesn't have to think about that, because we really want her feeling like she's comfortable here teaching. So if you're okay with the notifications background for this session, pop some in chat, so we'll just flood Carin with notifications.
I want you guys to feel free to chat. And I saw a note on how to look at it. So I'll work. Thank you, Jacob, for liberating me
Okay.
from that. I'm a little self-conscious about it and find it slightly annoying, but I don't want you guys to stop. So it's good. All right, awesome. All right, so yeah, let me see some reactions here. Let me see some non-dominant hand reactions here to and I just want to acknowledge something before we go on to that, especially for those of you who might be new to our scene today too. I'm the language that's in my mind right now is like heavy-handed. I think I'm going a little heavy-handed today. Like we're right in, this is what's up. Like I wasn't kind of like, oh, welcome to doodle therapy. We're going to do lots of, we're just like Jacob said, I do kind of go right in there. And I know my sort of state of being today is kind of right in there. So we dropped you right in the deep end with the rest of us. So hang with us. It's kind of like the first time you go to Zumba class, speaking for myself, and it's like a little too intense. And I don't know if I can keep up with all the ladies in there, but 3 or 4 times in, I've memorized the steps. I got it going. It's, nice and easy. So let's see some of your non-dominant hand reactions. Who would be like willing? Who would be willing to-
Here.
Hi, I'm Deb. I don't know if you can see it or not, but when I think about the changes I want to make, I get a little bit scared, and that scribble in my chest is an indication of my anxiety. And see, I have my hand on my belly. So
Hi, Deb. Hi. Thank you so much. Yay. Deb is one of my dear friends from our Grateful Dead meditation family, Grateful Dead friends and family meditation, the Grateful Meds, and we've become very close, and I love her so much. So happy to have you here.
I'm gonna grab Stephanie, because she had her hand up for the last one and didn't get in. So let's start with Stephanie here.
Okay.
Oh, if it's me, I think I did get one, didn't I? I think.
It's okay. Now you're on camera.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So I guess the feelings for me that were coming up from were a lot of anxiety, both in my head and my heart on this one, and kind of questioning who I am, what my the identity that I've had all this time, and what I'm really thinking I am now. I'm not sure, and that's scary. And then the other one is like a scary bad devil person, because sometimes I think maybe I can't make these changes because I'm just a bad person, and that whole downward spiral thing. So but anyway, that's what that is. So thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I just wanted to ask you, like, you have a levity, you're kind of sharing with a bit of a giggle, and also like those were some kind of intense messages that came through. So I'm just kind of curious about the whole experience. Like, was it fun? Did it release something? Did it stress you out more? Like, where's your insides as you created that and shared it?
I sometimes giggle when I'm nervous or anxious, so that's probably where that's coming from. And yeah, I guess I've just been thinking about it so much, it was almost factual kind of at this point. It wasn't, I wasn't even feeling it in my body, which I probably, maybe I wasn't paying attention to my body enough, is probably what was going on. Because to me, it's just like, this is just the way it is, and that's my problem. That's the whole problem, is I need to get away from thinking, being so attached to thoughts, and start listening to my body more. So.
And you're doing it right now. And I think even just like using your non-dominant hand to put those things that are so immediately there in your brain hole onto the paper like that, you've already made it more physical, in my experience. Yeah. Awesome. Thank
You
you.
have time for a couple more, Carin?
Yeah,
Or what do you think?
let's do.
I'd love to grab Nate, and then Aoife, and we're going to do our best. I'm so excited to see so much response to this one. Clearly, you helped us move into a different space. Okay, Nate, you're up.
Good.
So I'm actually Michelle, Nate beside me.
Okay.
So I was drawing my feeling of being overwhelmed and like a heavy weight of just chaos on top of me, and the really nothing supporting me. So that's where I'm at these days.
Tell me, just if you don't mind sharing with all of us, just kind of like, what is the experience of, kind of like I was asking Stephanie before, like what was that like to just kind of put that on the page?
It was, I had to actually think about it. So I spend time to sort of process, what does this really look like? And I mean, I certainly know how it feels. So taking the time to really hone into it, I appreciate and very much value the creative thought that had to go into it. So I could really notice that it's not just a feeling and it's not just a fleeting, it's okay, now really, how does it feel? So I really had to go into it. So thank you for that.
Yeah. I just used the word embodied in something I was writing yesterday for my, so as I think we mentioned before, I work in the mental health field. I have a private practice where I do coaching and counseling, and I was just rewriting my Psychology Today page to get it just updated to be very specific about the way I like to play. And I was talking about embodiment, and that's what I just observed in you as you just were describing that. I saw the tears right there, and I felt you kind of just ground in yourself. And you were saying, kind of coming into it, it might not have quite have been that way, but just as even as you looked to express to us what that was like, I saw you kind of become even more embodied. Yeah, thank you. Very cool. Go ahead, Jacob.
All right, Aoife. We have so many hands up. I don't want to not let anyone in here, but let's start with Aoife.
Sorry about my state of unwashedness. It's
I just
nice
wanted proof of life, Aoife. I wanted to see you actually on screen.
so nice to be in bed with you all. Woohoo! Yeah, so this might be a little intense, but I'm going through an intense experience. This is a big relief to draw, but kind of scary as well. Because in my bed at night, I've been feeling this sort of gargoyle right there, sort of hunched over me. And I realized last night it's my death. I mean, my hopefully very far away eventual death. But he seems to be like watching everyone come in and feed me and water me, and hearing that people are praying for me and sending healing. And what I didn't realize until I drew this was that he's crying. And it was just those tears of like, he seems to be gathering strength from this, just like crystallizing the beauty of this like really delicate moment. So I love the childlike quality, and I've become a little afraid of sleep at night because that's when things are most painful, and don't mind it in the day, but he really comes at night to capture, record, and be really, really present. So I gave myself a pomegranate, which is sort of a recognition of death, and sort of where death and life sort of mix up. And maybe I can try that tonight, to fall asleep with the pomegranate, to give him some nourishment myself. And yeah, it's just such a close conversation. And yeah, it was really, really helpful to draw it. And that's all really. I don't know what else to say.
I'm just taking in the words, I gave myself a pomegranate. Just that phrase, I'm just bathing in it. I just invite everyone here to remember that image and to feel her and hear those words. I gave myself a pomegranate.
If you look like just saying that now, like he's giving me these tears of gratitude and remembrance, and then the pomegranate kind of goes back up to him, but somewhere there's like seeds and tears kind of become a cycle. That's quite nice. So thanks for being part of my healing.
Thank you so much. Want to pick another?
Damn, Aoife. You got, woo! that went right to my heart. I've had night terrors for 15 years, where I wake up sure I am about to die every night, and I want to bring that pomegranate to bed with me tonight and see if that helps, and maybe I'll see you there. That's incredible. I ever since I was little just have been really obsessed with faces, and I was drawing some of the faces of sort of all of the figures that kind of crowd in as I just want to get to my voice and all of the sort of I mean, I feel like I use my voice a lot, but not my voice. And it's so special to be here today, just because actually the Heal and Create Writers Workshop or retreat from October, I only just got to it this weekend. There was a lot going on. So I've been spending the last couple of days just bathing in Julia and Anne and Jacob and all these incredible folks. And then I just saw this morning, oh, in an hour, here's this incredible doodling exercise. I was like, oh, let me get on that. So just thank you all. What incredible, majestic synchronicity for me to be able to be with you today. Thank you all. So.
I love that display of faces. I just feel like we could all, like, it was such a nice, simple way of expressing all the different, you know, I know somebody who calls it his cabal. When he does his morning pages, he says, okay, cabal, and he invites all the different characters to come on in and say what they need to say. And I liked the simplicity and the truth telling and the kind of all inclusiveness of the way you laid those characters out. Thank you so much for that share. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, let's take one more in this category and then we will move on. It's all under the same umbrella. So if you don't get to share this little piece of it, we'll get to see your share on the next one. Do we have one more?
Yeah, how about Linda?
Thank you for managing all that, Jacob. It's my dream come true to have a co-pilot.
Hi, I'm Linda. Can you see this? I'm on my phone, so I don't know.
Let's see. So go hold it back toward your face a bit.
Oh, I've got that background. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's something about.
Yeah, it's my background that I can change that. There we go. Okay. Oh no, now it's.
Yeah.
Well,
if you hold it right there, if
on.
you just hold it right where you are, we can see the top corner of it anyway.
Okay.
There we go. Perfect. Nope.
Anyway, I'll just explain it that it's fear and excitement and the unknown. And then I drew a volcano that over all of it, and it's like fear of what's going to come up from the unknown. And then all of a sudden I had this image of my first grade teacher who was very stern and controlling. And I think that's when the creativity started getting shut down a bit then. And so anyway, I've got an image of her over here over my excitement, which is interesting. And but over on the fear side, I drew this image of like a calm meditative image of a person meditating inside of a heart. And the red stuff from the volcano is splashing over all that, but it doesn't get inside where the calm space is. So it was interesting. So.
I'm just like thinking about everyone here today, and maybe just y'all just raise your physical hand if you had a voice from your past come up in your reactions today. I love it that you shared that with us about your teacher. It's amazing how you know, something happens when we're impressionable, especially around our art and our creativity, and we go, nope, not doing that anymore. And then it just carries on. And here we are all these days later. Yeah. There we go. Linda, if you want to unmute, it'll put you back on speaker and you can show your picture.
Okay, there it is. See if I can.
Hmm.
So it was therapeutic for me. Interesting to. This is kind of the dynamic that happens for me. Get excited, and that critical voice can come in. Get fearful, but then I go to meditation, and so it's this. It just made it more vivid what happens.
I feel like I've been sort of seeing that theme in our pictures today, that there's multitudes. Aoife's for sure. There's just like multitudes of things happening at once. And I thank you all for being willing to really, like, this is the juiciest prompt that we've had so far, and so much willingness to share, because it really is everything, isn't it, Linda? Like, I'm both excited and scared. I'm at peace and I'm angry. Like, all of these things, that's the totality of humanness. That's, thank goodness that this gang here, that we've got creativity, which has to be all inclusive, or it's nothing, it's fake, right? So thank you. Okay, we're going to keep on rolling along because yes, I'm behind schedule. So I'm going to actually squish together the next two prompts. So we've looked at areas that are important to us and things that we're reaching for, goals maybe that we have. And then we were looking at the kind of potential shutdown that might happen, or the encouragement that might happen, but that reactionary space. And what I'm suggesting is that part of the reason all that reactionary space is so fertile right now is because we set ourselves up too far from where we actually are, right? So if we look at, again, meeting ourselves exactly where we are, that means today, right this minute, even in the face of what we would love to freaking change, even in the face of, I gotta get out of here, I'm gonna go nuts, like, even in the face of all of that, we want to come home to ourselves and just acknowledge, how is my energy level? What am I really up for? What is something that's already in my world and my environment where I can touch that thing that's important to me now? So, like, for example, like, if you're saying, I'm gonna lose 100 pounds, like, I bet you had a lot of voices in response. That's like a big thing, right? But maybe it's, after we finish this call, I'm gonna sit down on the floor and stretch for 2 minutes. Like, where can we meet ourselves exactly where we are? This is a two-part question. What's something small that you can do in one of those areas that's important to you, that makes sense for where you are right now? And then the other piece that I want to put in there, these may be two separate pictures on your page, I don't know, or they may be one expressing it, is, how do you want to feel? This is what we want to lean into, and what we want to kind of wrap up our time together today when we get there is, what do we want to feel as we're moving forward? Or we were talking about the emojis and the outmojis, like, what do you want your outmoji to look like? Even though we're going to do an outmoji, so that'll be its own thing too. But what is a simple thing, meeting yourself exactly where you are right now, that can make a difference for you in one of these areas that's important to you? So just check in with yourself, listen inside, be really, really honest about, here's what I've got available to me, time-wise, energy-wise. Who are the people around me? What are the opportunities around me? Just looking for something very, very simple. And how do I want to feel? Shahira shared that, I'm also feeling fears that this is too easy. If I'm not killing myself, then whatever work I'm doing doesn't count. I so resemble that. I so resemble that. I mean, look at me. I like, play with crayons all day long. That can't be, I can't be worthy of anything. Uh, Wonderful. I'm so excited to see what y'all are creating here. Okay. Let's take another minute or so and then we'll. I didn't even doodle anything and I'm feeling the vibes. Let me do a quickie. All right, my friends, let's do some quick shares. Just thinking out loud here, I think I maybe proposed this at one point, but I did not follow up on it. Looking at the possibility of sometimes playing with breakout rooms so that everybody really gets a chance to share and we can connect a little bit more. We just haven't tried that with these groups yet, but I think it would probably make a difference in the rushing, but selfishly, I wouldn't get to see as much variety when we were in the breakout room. So I would have to drop into your breakout rooms and spy on you. All right, who would like to share? Let's do.
Couple of questions coming in here and comments in chat. You might want to take a look at real quick before we.
Let's see. Thank you. Thank you. Where are we? Okay. Oh, so the question was to go ahead and doodle a nice simple picture of just something little that you could do in your life, something that would meet you where you are, that would help you connect with these kind of big visions and big goals and big things that you're reaching for. Like what's something meeting yourself exactly where, like setting yourself up to win. In other words, like what's something for me right now? I'm going to actually show you all mine. Maybe this will be a good example. And it is, let me see, put this where I can make sure you guys can see it. Nope. Where am I? I've been doing video calls for years and years and years and years and years. And for some reason today, I'm like so failing at driving the Zoom. All right, I can't tell. I can't even like find a picture of myself, but can you all see this? All right, so my like small thing is this is my laptop here. This, like doing what I'm doing right now and how I want to feel, which is peaceful, loving in my heart, excited and celebratory, like all that's happening just simply by being here. So kind of when I look into my life, that huge list of things that I thought I was supposed to be reaching for that kind of runs that, you know, that sort of right underneath the hood, you got to be reaching for all of these things. Like actually, I've discovered in doing this prompt today, it's already happening. This is how I want to feel. This is what I want to be doing. It's affecting positively all those things. All right, so let's see. So who would like to share? Thank you so much.
Let's start with Jeanette. She lost her raised hand on the last one, so we'll go and got a bunch of other hands up, which is awesome. Jeanette.
I don't know what I did, but okay. Here.
Down and back just a little bit. There you go. Perfect. Right there.
Okay, this one right here is afterwards. I want to play with my paints. with one of my pictures. That, I mean, even if I do it for 10 minutes, it calms all of me down. And this is who I am. It's just connecting with the little girl who dances free and that nothing can dim in my heart. And that's how I wanted to feel. And that's how I already feel as I come out of this. But that's what I look for, because she's free no matter what's happening in my health or my life. She's there. She's in all of us, that child. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's get Susan.
Hi. All right, so I'm working right now with healthy boundaries and resisting the urge to save other people. So what small thing I can do right now is do the things that I genuinely enjoy. So this is me with an embroidery hoop and a pile of books next to the window over my backyard. And I want to learn to embroider, which I never took seriously and just sort of did a little bit and then dropped it because I was supposed to be out saving the world. And I want to follow my joy. And this is something that brings me joy. It's simple, it's creative, and it makes me happy. And how I want to feel, this is me grounded and centered. My little Zazen me. Yeah. So.
Susan, thank you for being the voice of that for all of us today. I want you in every single group ever from this point on, for creating that, for showing the visual of it. I am a recovering world saver myself, and it's no joke. There's a lot of deep work that it takes, and I respect you for that. And I just so appreciate you sharing that. I know that, I bet if we ask for just like a wave of hands, any other recovering world savers in here. Yeah, and that subtlety of just doing little things that make a difference for us. Coming to Doodle Group today is a huge one that every single person here did. Woo! Yay, Susan, you're letting me live out my image that I wanted to make. I wanted to be in this posture, so thank you. So great. Okay, who's next?
Let's go with Lanny.
Also,
Sorry,
a
I was
fellow Grateful Med here.
trying to unmute myself, and it's Lonnie is how you pronounce it. I know it's spelled L-A-N-I, but okay, I was going to do a little bit of shading, but I have two areas that I've been working on: loneliness and the future, and creating some sort of stability in my future, and in the fact that I'm single, and I've been single for a long time and I don't want to be, but I'm choosy. So what I can do to change that, I'm not quite done with the doodle, and I can't see it. Can you see it?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay, the things that I can do to change that, that's an open door. Keeping my doors open, opportunity, don't shut down because of experiences in the past. Keep my eyes open for opportunity, and try really hard to keep my heart open instead of keeping it closed to be safe. There's the ocean through that door and the sunshine and little steps that I can take to do that, or to spend more time, because I do live on the beach. So spend more time at my power source. And how I want to feel about that is I want to feel grounded, connected to someone. And then if I pull back, I was drawing a big eye around here. I want to feel seen. I want to feel seen and understood. But the most important part of this, I think, is that open door. to try to remain open and not become jaded. That's all.
Oh, thank you so much, Lonnie. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. How was that sharing that? I see there's some emotion coming through. So good. Awesome. Let's take another.
All right, Suzanne.
Okay, well, I do have some insecurity and hesitation about something in particular that was on the last prompt. But so in order to deal with that, this is me meditating and talking to the universe and asking the universe, like basically asking, thinking about the reality of things and instead of the negativity that I'm afraid I'm going to experience. And then what happens when I do that is that I end up accepting the actual probably reality, and then I'm excited about it. So that's me getting excited about it after I've meditated.
My favorite posture. I love that so much. I love it so much. Boy, it's hard to reel this in. Let's do one more of this one, and then we'll do a tiny little bit of business, and we'll do our outmojis, and we'll have to get back together next month.
All right, let's grab Rachel.
Mine is I can't remember who's all of these have been amazing. I can't remember which one we were on with the happy and angry and kind of the dichotomy back and forth of trying to navigate those things. But what popped in my head was that snake eating its own tail kind of situation. So I kind of put it in a place where it's kind of a peace sign in the middle, kind of bring a little bit of peace to those feelings, when you're in your writing and in your life in general. But that just really, really stood out to me. So I just wanted to share that.
Rachel. Ooh. I just like Jacob, did you see that? Like I just like sometimes I have to say like to my co-creator here, like, dude. Like it's amazing the wealth and the variety and the depth.
If I may, Carin, one thing that sometimes in a session like this, part of the brain wants to diminish the value either of our own experience in it, or it's like, what is anything really happening here? But to your point, the one you just made, it is astonishing to me to watch how quickly we're hearing signals from our inner selves and the depth of these signals. It's really amazing.
Yeah, for those of you who haven't heard this before, around the doodling project, Doodle Outreach was the original name of my doodling project. We say, don't let the whimsy fool you. And even, I think it was, shoot, I can't remember who was sharing, but we were talking earlier about things being too easy. And then we kind of blow it off. Or like for me, this is the water I swim in. So I can sometimes tend to take it for granted, although that's becoming less and less because I just see the immediacy. But I'm still surprised every time. I'm still surprised every single time. Yeah, y'all are amazing. And the collective, I want to say vacuum. It's not quite a vacuum, but like what this group pulls for when we're all together. The pulling forth of depth, the pulling forth of genuinity and truth telling. It's very exciting. It's very exciting. Okay, let's do one more, just a quick share from the final one there, and then we'll jump over to the Outmoji and take our outgoing data for the day. You want to share, Jacob?
We got Janet coming in right now.
Okay.
Hi. So in my previous emoji, I had a phone in my stomach, and just as you were saying, did you have anything come up from the past. And my dad used to say, were you born with a phone in your ear in high school? So what I want to do today is to listen. And I drew an ear because I don't think I listen enough. So, and listen to a meditation. I have a chakra meditation, and then to feel peace inside. And I put this stance kind of even in the world, not just at home in my safe room, but at work, you know, dealing with others, I kind of get thrown. And then, God, my voice is shaking again. So the last time the class before this, you had asked what we want to get over. Like, what have we been trying to do to get over? And I said, being in balance. And then I started getting clumsy. And I thought, no, I didn't mean that. What I really wanted to get over was trying to be fixed from somebody outside. So I wanted just the opposite. So I changed that and I got my balance back. So this is a very deep class I just want to share with everyone. And thank you so much, Carin. And my last question, I have a question. What is that emoji on your wall behind you?
Oh, this behind me is a tapestry. It's sideways. If you turned it this way, it says Om Namah Shivaya. These are the Ohms right here. And then underneath it, it says Om Namah Shivaya. This is
beautiful.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Makes a pretty good Zoom backdrop, which I'm glad for. Oh my gosh, dear people. I mean, oh boy. Yeah, we're going to run a couple minutes over. So I'm just going to acknowledge that. I was just thinking like, man, you know, I think for this length of group, I really just need to have like 2 prompts, but it's so hard to do that because I just love to go deep. So I'm going to share just a couple of things real quick and we'll do our outmojis. Maybe we can even just kind of flash them all up. You can let us know if there's been any big transformations. The outmoji is, how do you feel now? And sort of compared with how you felt earlier, but not really comparing. After you make the picture, you can compare them. But right now you just want to, again, meet yourself exactly where you are. Do a quick doodle of that. I'm going to flash my books at you. I already flashed 365 Days of Doodling at you. It's prompts like what we do here. And then this is Doodlebook Junior. Oh, so they have blank pages inside. So this is doodle having a picnic anywhere you want to go. Show who is with you, where you go, and what's in your picnic basket. The kids are a little more playful. The grown-ups are a little more therapy. They kind of, you know, can go either way. Both on Amazon, very easy to find. I'm very easy to find on the internet. And then I'm going to drop in the chat. Hope you guys are making your outmojis while I'm over here chatting on all of this stuff. I'm going to drop in the chat as I was sharing. I just updated my Psychology Today page, which I had taken down for a while. So if I can figure out how to find it here. So if you have any curiosity about like what the world of seeing me outside of this setting might be like, I'm going to send you this link. What's that, Jay?
Yeah, also wanted to ask you to drop your other contact information, including your Venmo and PayPal, in case anybody, if you're experiencing this session as really valuable and you'd like to send a little extra love to Carin, there's ways of dropping her a tip. She's been so generous with her time to show up here every month and charge us less than her going rate, and we're grateful for that. Yeah. So if you'll drop that in there as well. And then if you are not one of our community members, hang on after the end, after we've wrapped this up. I don't want to step on any of that, but I'd like to make sure you understand how you can stay engaged, because we really go into this as not just these sessions, but giving you things to take home and practice, because it's so deeply therapeutic. And it helps us have a way to reconnect in between times with our own selves. So everything we do here is really meant to develop practice, which is what this community is doing. So hang on afterwards. If you don't have to leave immediately, I want about 2 minutes to show you that. Okay, Carin, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jacob, for sharing about that. Speaking of the wealth that comes through here, you know, multiply this times I don't know, several, and this is what is going on around Heal Plus Create. I mean, there's so much. I have to be honest, like I have barely even, I don't like that expression, scratch the surface, I've been noticing lately, but like I've barely even, like I've sort of just walked up to the first flower in the garden, or maybe the second or third, but I haven't gone all the way down into the labyrinth yet, but I know there's so much value there, and it's a treat to get to be around it. So outmojis, I just want to know, was anybody kind of surprised to see where you ended up versus where you started today? Was anybody had a distinct difference in emojis and outmojis? The people who've been coming to this group for a while are like, nah, I knew it was going to be fun on both sides. Anybody have any distinct differences, or just want to share your outmoji? It doesn't have to be a big difference.
Okay, I have some hands up. Let's grab Janet real quick here. These will be lightning rounds, so real
Super
quick.
lightning, yeah.
Janet, gotta unmute.
Okay, sorry. I drew the bunny for Chinese New Year, and I'm drawing a yes. I want to say yes to life and hop to it and go with the bunny flow. That's what I got.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Janet.
All right, let's grab Susan. Gotta unmute Susan.
You muted me again. Okay. So you can see here the wings are kind of tight and furled close. So my outmoji, they have opened and they have embroidery on them.
That's so cool. By the way, y'all, my word for like now is warm and warmth. And that just vibe of the embroidery coming into your life and into your doodles and into our circle here, just like that is like warmth for me. Thank you so much for sharing all that. Yeah, I'm gonna just do, I don't know, 2, 3 more super fast ones.
Real quick, here we go. Stephanie.
Hi. So this was my emoji. This one, I had a little more, had some hope, possibility, but more struggle going on in it. And this is my outmoji. I'm feeling much lighter than I ever usually do feel. I feel like there's some hope, and that if I just take one little bit at a time, or one little doodle at a time, that I can get to where I'm trying to go. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And thanks for sharing throughout. It's fun to watch the whole experience with y'all. Thanks for that today. Go ahead, Jay.
Let's grab Suzanne.
Okay, so this was my emoji. This was me feeling medium and wondering kind of what was going to happen today. And this is like afterwards. So I'm actually feeling a little nervous and unsettled, but I'm moving forward and I'm facing the music literally. So
amazing. Oh my gosh. And I so feel that kind of like that nervous and unsettled from the medium. I'm just feeling you. I'm witnessing you. I'm feeling you. I'm feeling it over here. I'm feeling the engagedness of that. Like you went from flat to engaged. Yeah. So cool. So cool. Go ahead.
All right, let's go with Linda M.
Okay, well, it's very interesting. My emoji was a question mark. She wasn't too sure about this whole workshop my first time. And my outmoji, oh God, how can I?
Perfect. Oh, wow. Linda.
Yeah, so it's interesting that the figure is looks kind of like the question mark, but it became a peaceful figure. Gosh, this camera, I'm not very good at this. There we go.
It's so beautiful. I have tears in my eyes, and it does resemble the question mark. It doesn't deny the question mark, right?
Yeah, right. It's integrated. That was my word for how I want to feel, is integrated with everything. integrated.
Strange thing, Linda, you were so familiar to me that I thought we had been in this group together before. So I was actually surprised just now
Wow.
to hear you say you haven't been here before. So I'm really touched by that. Thank you so much for that sharing. Woo! Ah. I feel like we should go because I really like to be in integrity with timing and everything. So unless there's something that's super, super burning, maybe we wrap it up for next time. Those are who are willing to share. Just stick your hands up at the very beginning next time. Send emails, send notes in the mail.
Well, let's all send Carin a big round of gratitude and applause for holding space for us and guiding us today. And Carin, when people go into the different kind of healers, like I have a friend who just went and had some massage work done and some other things. And a lot of times they'll hear after a session, you need to really be gentle with yourself and drink water and rest a little bit, because sometimes when we break into these different layers of our psyche, our emotions, our feelings, it can be a little surprising what comes up. And I think making a little space for that, it can be really good.
100% concur. Yes. Drink your water, go take a walk, have something nice to eat, whatever feels good for you.
Susan Wolf has her mic on and I think probably has a burning thing. So Susan, jump in.
I don't know how it happened, actually. I was daydreaming about the walk I'm about to have.
Awesome.
Mm.
Yeah, it's so true. I just had a massage a couple days ago over at the bathhouse. So I both took the mineral water and had a massage, and I really, really, really super needed to extra hydrate that day. So I love that reminder. Yeah, fabulous. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Jacob, for the community that you create, and everybody for having me back and helping me. It's just such a great opportunity to develop the material and see the positive responses on you all. So it keeps me going in this field, and I love it. So thank you.
I just feel like we just get a little taste every month, and it's so important to me. Like, I love that we do it regularly. So thank you for doing this with us, Carin. I want to have everyone just close your eyes real quick, unless you're flying a plane or something. If you're safe to close your eyes, let's just take one breath. Imagine that we're able to reach and hold the hand of one of our fellow class people here, and just squeeze it a little bit, and just thank yourself, thank Carin, thank all of us for being part of the medicine that this world needs, which is people living in their truth, their wholeness, their health, their joy. And sometimes parts of our minds say that's not enough, but it is, because a healthy cell naturally spreads health to everything around it. So just know by showing up today, by investing in yourself and getting back in touch with yourself just a little bit, you're part of the medicine the world needs. Thank you. Thank you for being here so much. And we can just breathe that out with gratitude. And let me just, before you run away, let me just show you my screen, because I want to make sure you know. A lot of times people go, you end these things, you didn't tell us how to get involved more deeply. So I want you to know, I'll drop this link into the chat, but you can get involved with these regular standard memberships. Starter gives you access, you can become part of the groups, you get some discounts. And then core is where a lot of people land, where you get all of the different Heal Plus Create community sessions at no extra charge. You get discounts on courses and events, all this good stuff. So I just wanted you to be aware, these are some evolutions we've been making, and I'm so excited to unveil them. And we have, these writing communities and things like that. But for now, I just wanted to invite anyone who isn't a core member, join us. There's so much that happens here. All right, let me drop this into chat so that you'll know where to go find it, and then we will sign off. And a few people joined us right at the end, and we're curious what happens. I came in too late to get the whole experience. Well, I'm going to put this replay up on the same page where you went to RSVP, and so you can go back and watch that within a couple of hours. I'm going to rest a little bit, and then I'll make sure that replay gets up there. So I just love all of you, and thank you so much for being here. And Carin, thank you for showing up with your light and your ability to hold space and to teach us how to hold space for each other and ourselves.
It's a pleasure. And I just, like, I know we're wandering off here, but Jacob knows because he saw me before we started today. Like, we talked for a minute before you all came in from the waiting room. And my eyes were like, spinning saucers. And he asked me, he goes, "How are you?" I said, "I'm occupied." And I knew that just to get here was all I needed to do. I knew that we'd have a great time together. And obviously my outmoji is a lot mellower than my emoji was. So thank you for that.
All right, y'all, let's enjoy the rest of our Sunday and rest and make space for our inner selves. I just love all of you being here. And if you want to pop your mic off and just say goodbye or something, feel free. We'll just make a bunch of noise here, but I think that's always fun to hear our voices.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks,
Thank
Karen.
you.
Thanks, Jacob.
Everybody. Love you.
Thanks,
all.
everyone.
You guys, bye.
Bye.
You might remind people when you're advertising these events of the time zone. I know I came in an hour late yesterday and I didn't realize it was advertised as Mountain Time, not Pacific Time. So that may be why some people came in late today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Bye-bye,
it's easy to overlook the time zone.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take off. Bless you all. See you soon.